Hello, people. Welcome in the channel. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Today, I'm with Nick Blue, Jake, and JP. First of all, I would like to welcome Nick Blue. How are you?
Hi Tobago, hi everyone. I'm fine, waiting for the new dawn of Chelsea Football Club. I can't wait till it happens. We had enough of frustration and stress, for the last since March. So it's about time we move on now. Yeah.
Yes, Jake, how are you?
I'm doing well, man. No complaints. Honored to be on. I'm hyped to talk some transfers. Obviously, season's coming to an end. Love talking about the season, but I also love talking about some transfers. So looking forward to it.
Thank you. It's good having you here. Also, JP, welcome to the channel, man.
Thank you for having me. Just excited that the season's finally coming to a close. Not, could have ended probably better, but time to rebuild.
Yes. Today we're going to talk about the potential outgoing players in Chelsea Football Club, also potential incoming players. So I'll just start on potential outgoing players. So first of all, before starting this topic, what do you think about the future of the club for next season? Nick Blue can come in.
Yeah. Well, first of all, we want all the deadwood out. Barkley, Bakayoko, Batshuayi. We have so many. We need them. Sort that out. Barkley, Drinkwater, even is still there. We have to get rid of these players. If we lose money, we lose money. Sure, Bowley is going to want to, a clean start. He's going to want to get rid of these players. And don't forget, we got to Alonso, Rudiger, Aspie, and Jorginho. We don't know if he's going to stay. It's going to be so much movement. It's unbelievable. And we need our players to come in. The ones on loan, the good ones. Gallagher, Gilmore, Roger. This Ampadu. They all going to come and have a chance. Tuchel already said he's going to give every player his chance. They have to prove it in pre-season. We're going to have a few friendly games, and he can try everyone out. Plus, with the players we're going to buy. For me, I want to see Koulibaly coming in. Kundi, I think he will be coming. He wants to be at Chelsea, and and we need. It's not enough. Koulibaly, sure, many we, if possible, he's a Tuchel, likes him as well, and who else? And we need these players to come in. I don't think Bowley's going to go crazy and buy 7 players straight away. We might need 7, but we're not going to get them. It's going to be a slow process. Probably a couple sort the defense out maybe in the summer, and look to the next transfer window for the next players we can get. But he's got and Dembele as well. I'm not so keen on Dembele, with the injuries he gets. So, but I hope Tuchel fancies him. So, it's going to be such a big movement, in the summer. Let's see what happens. I'm sure we get there in the end. I have full faith in Chelsea Football Club and Todd Bowley. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, Jake, what do you think about this topic?
Regarding outgoings?
Yes.
Regarding outgoings, personally, everyone loves to talk transfers, of course, but over time, I like, you know, the app Lineup 11, I think it's called. Like, you're able to build a depth chart essentially. I've been doing that for quite some time. Like, as rumors will come out, I'll try and update it. And like, I have a notes page with like people I have coming in and coming out. So regarding people I've going out, I mean, and again, just to talk, like, hit it from a broader standpoint, you have players that are leaving on their own. We have players that we want to get rid of. Like, when you put it all together collectively, we have a shit ton of people that realistically need to go, whether they want to go or whether they don't want to go. So when I look at it, we got AC leaving, who wants to leave on his own. Alonso, who needs to get out of this club. I call it Alonso tax. Like, everyone says, like, death, you have to pay like 3 things in life are guaranteed, whatever, death, something, and taxes. Like, paying your Alonso tax is a thing every single time he starts on the field. And we won't have to do that if we get rid of him. So, and I despise, this is my first time on the channel, I despise Alonso. Like, I genuinely don't hate anyone more at the club than Marcus Alonso. But the different discussion for another day. We got AC, as I said, with Alonso. He wants to go, but also we want him to go. So AC, Alonso, Aspie may be out the door, and I think it's better off he goes. If we have to keep Aspie, I'm fine with it. It's the same thing entering the season. I'd like to think we had squad depth. Clearly we don't. But I thought Aspie was a good backup. He is a little more washed at this point in time. He doesn't have the legs like he quite did necessarily, but listen, there's worse people to have than Aspie, who's been here, who's a legend for the club. I mean, if we have to stick with him, I'm fine. But if we can get rid of Aspie and let him go to Barcelona, which I think he wants to do, I'm more than up for it. Got to get rid of Ross Barkley, of course. I didn't even want to mention Drinkwater. Like, I feel like we try to get rid of Drinkwater countless times, but teams just literally won't take the guy. Like, people just know how bad Drinkwater is, and we're just like stuck with him at this point. I think we loaned him to like Reading or something. And that was probably the best we could do at the time. Got to get rid of Drinkwater. Emerson, I think, is going to go. I forgot who I think Juventus won him. I was blanking for a second. He's obviously at loan at Lyon. And just real quick, another thing, like, I'm not trying to talk a lot. I'm trying to pass it to JP, but real quick, like, my stance going on the left, I hate Marcus Alonso. I love Ben Chilwell. Ben Chilwell is one of my favorite players on the team. And the way I looked at it is I wanted to keep Chilwell and keep Emerson as the backup, because when I was like discussing transfers last summer, left back wasn't like really like I'd want us to sell both Emerson and Alonso at the time and bring in someone else, but that's just such a headache for Marino to get rid of 2 left backs just to bring in one when we had other priorities around the field to do. So that wasn't realistic. But I mean, I'd love to have Emerson back up. Here's the thing with me. I think Jorginho needs to go. 1,000%. I think Jorginho needs to go. I think Kepa needs to go. He's better than your average backup. He's not as good as a number one as other people like Mendy, but he can definitely get a starting job elsewhere. Rudiger is going to go because he has a deal in place with Real Madrid. Sarr's got to go. I mean, I thought he wasn't that bad, but he's really dipped out of form towards the end of the season. Saul, I loved having Saul, and if people were willing, if I was the coach, I'd give him more opportunity, and I think he'd slowly get into his own, and he'd become a better player as he gets more adjusted to the Premier League. But unfortunately, that's not how Chelsea works, and that's not how the Premier League works. So Saul's got to go. And last but not least, Timo Werner's got to get out of the club. 1,000%. I saw a stat yesterday or 2 days ago. He has like around 50 starts. He only has 10 goals. 5 of those goals came against Southampton. Like people want to bring up the competition Mason Mount scores against. This guy scored 5 of his 10 goals against Southampton. So see you later, Timo Werner. But that's all I got.
Yeah. JP, I'm going to ask you a different question. Like, how do you feel about losing Rudiger?
It hurts, but I mean, he gave us 5 years. We couldn't ask more from the guy. I mean, we could have him stay, but it does suck that he's gonna go to Madrid. But at least I like the way he did it this way instead of Christensen, how he's handling it and how he's snaking his way to Barcelona. But yeah, it does suck that he's leaving, but I think we could find a decent backup. It is big shoes to fill, with whether that's Koundé or whoever take up the reins. It won't be long before we need to look up another center back soon, because Silva he's be 38 next season, and the guy is one of the wonders of the world. How he's still functioning at this ability and this caliber, but to summarize it, I'm not happy that he's leaving, but it is what it is. It's the game.
Yes. Before I'm going to Nick Blue, I would like to ask people just hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. So Nick Blue, I want to ask you about Rudiger. How do you feel about losing Rudiger?
Very bad, as you know. One of my favorite players. He was my favorite player. And I was living in hope that he would change his mind for the last few weeks. And then people were laughing at me. But I was just hoping anyone can change their mind. But it didn't work out like that, I saw his interview yesterday, and it made my eyes water, honestly. The man's a legend. He will be a legend. Big legend. Some fans say, he's not entitled to be a legend. That's all rubbish. For me, he's a legend and a great legend of Chelsea. No one played like Rudiger with his, 150%, his fight for the club and the way he played. Forget the last couple of games. You find, like everyone else who's leaving, is not right now. But, what a player. And I'll be watching him. I never used to watch Real Madrid that often, but now because of Rudiger, I will be. And when Hazard went there, I was watching when he played, but he didn't even play any. Hardly plays anymore. But Rudiger, I think he'd be a great player for them. I hope, in one way, he doesn't become a great player and wants to come back to Chelsea, like Hazard does. But it ain't gonna happen. I can see him really being, he's a top world-class player, if not the best, one of the best in the world at his position, Yeah, I'm very sad to see him go, but it's going to be hard to replace him. And, it looks like we're going to go after Koulibaly to replace Rudiger. Let's see. That's what I'm hearing, Yeah, it's a very sad news. But he showed what a man he is when the words he said, great words, and he meant every word he said. Yeah.
Yeah, to be honest, it's so sad to lose Rudiger, because he is one of the best players under Tuchel. Even Tuchel loves Rudiger. Yeah. So interview even the press conference talking about Rudiger, he was so sad talking about Rudiger. But anyway, it's life. It's hard to move on, but we have to move on. So I'm coming to you, Jake. What do you think about Rudiger?
I mean, Nick Blue sort of touched up on it 1,000%. I mean, he's a Chelsea legend, whether you want to accept it or not. I mean, the amount of effort he plays with, the dog mentality he plays with, the shithousery he brings, he's literally a top 3 defender in the world. We can't get caught up on him going to Real Madrid. Honestly, when I look at Real Madrid getting Rudiger, him next to Alaba, I'm pretty sure they play with a back four. I'm not sure if they play with a back four. They play with the back four. Yeah, him and Alaba, left center back and right center back. I mean, Militao's going to need to scoot to the side, because Alaba and Rudiger, that's literally FIFA career mode. But Rudiger, a legend. I think he's a top 3 defender in the world. But Nick Blue, I just want to touch up on something you said. You hope he comes back. There's no way he's coming back. If anything, Hazard, I thought, if anything, it is more likely for him to come back. But it's been announced Hazard's staying another season. Those guys are probably never coming back to Chelsea. But what we can do is look forward, and I think we're gonna be set. Obviously, not one person or multiple players are gonna be able replace Rudiger and what he brought to the table. The guy's Rudiger, but I mean, if we get Colwell and we get that guy Guardiola, in my opinion, we're going to be looking at our left side of our defense locked down for the next decade. We'll be set. So, despite getting rid of all these defenders like Guehi, Tomori, if we keep Colwell and we bring in someone like Guardiola, we're chilling. Trust me.
Yeah. Also, I want to talk about Christensen. It's so sad Christensen is leaving Chelsea Football Club the way it is, but anyway, we need to talk about him. Guys, anyone can come in about this. How do you feel about Christensen going and then his attitude recently? But anyway, you don't know the in and out, what is happening around his life. So you can't just judge the guy and say like he didn't want to play because his plans is to move on to another club. Maybe he was really facing difficulties. As Tuchel said, the guy had private issues, so he needed to solve them. So, guys, what do you think about Christensen?
Yeah, you want me to come in first? Yeah, Christensen,
Okay.
Yeah, Christensen was great for us. He wasn't, when he first came to Chelsea, when he made it in the first team, he had his issues. He was making too many mistakes at the beginning. But Tuchel, when Tuchel came in, like he did with Rudiger and him, he made him a great player. He started performing like it, really it shocked me. Christensen was really good. We had the best three in the league. Him, Christensen, Rudiger, Silva. No one could get through us. Asby, Rich James, and Chilwell. We had the best defense in the league, but things didn't go to plan. We had the injuries, James and Chilwell at the same time. That roughed up the team, and Christensen was trying his best till his dad got into his head and asked, telling him to ask for more money. He agreed at first for 140 a week. He agreed to sign the contract, but then after a few days we heard now he's changed his mind. His dad changed his mind, not Christensen. But he's a young player. He's going to listen to his dad. So that's what's happened. And since then, he hasn't been the same player. And no surprise. He's in Barcelona. So I'm not surprised. But he was a good player for us last season and the season before. Yeah, he was. Yeah.
JP, you go.
Okay. Granted, this is it seems like night and day from Christensen last year and Christensen this year. He was, you're right, one of the best. I won't throw the term world class out there for him, but he was really a big part of our defense. Now, as of late, it's just how you said, he started off making mistakes. Now he's ending it with making a bunch of mistakes. I mean, look what he did at Madrid and Liverpool, and now he's not coming in. And I don't want to make too much fun of him because supposedly Tuchel said it might be like some medical issue that's going on. It's just looking like he's avoiding playing these last couple of games just because he can just end the season already and just go to Barcelona, whatever it may be. And if I remember correctly, I could be wrong, but his dad was the one that, you said this, Nick, I think. His dad was the one that convinced him to stay at Chelsea, right?
Yes.
Convinced.
Go ahead.
But then he convinced him to want more money. So,
I mean, and that's fair.
I blame his dad more than Christian.
I mean, and that's true. And I mean, of course, we all want our sons. I'm not gonna say I have a son, but I don't want our kids to like make more money. But but it looks like Christensen didn't want to be part of our team. He didn't want to be in Chelsea, and now he sees like the opportunity to like leave and just do whatever he wants over with Barcelona. Then fine. I mean, but he's not even a kid anymore. He's 26, and that's still fairly young. But I mean, you kind of cut that kid label at what, like 21, 22, 23, 26. I mean, you probably having his own kids at this point. But it just leaves like a really bad image, like a bad lasting image. As this is how you want to end your Chelsea career with us, supposedly having stomach issues or whatever it is, or tummy aches right before an FA Cup final. Just thank you for your time. Good luck to your future endeavors. That's why I'm taking it as.
I just want to make one comment real quick. Like, I said this for quite some time about AC. Like, I thought for a while, I always said this, he walks into 99% of the clubs in Europe. Like, I think he's that good of a player. He's the complete opposite of Rudiger. Like, when I think of Christensen, I think of a quiet, like, independent guy. But his play speaks on the field. But on the other hand, it's just like, it's like, with me saying that he's an independent guy, like, I want a shithousery guy in the back, like, honestly. And on top of it, like, you talked about it, JP, like, it could be no. I don't think anyone really knows what it is other than people behind the scenes, a part of like Chelsea's staff. I saw a tweet, Jody Morris, like, I forgot another manager said it in the past, but Jody Morris too. Like, Jody, when he was with Frank Lampard, he said Christensen would do the same shit, and it's just like, I don't know if it's medical shit. I don't know if it's mental shit. I'm a big advocate for mental health, but I'm just saying, like, let's look back really recently. We just won the Champions League final, right? Who started that game? Thiago Silva. Thiago Silva came out very quick. Who replaced Thiago Silva? That would be Christensen. Imagine he just didn't, like, he wasn't up for it. His anxiety set in. If that was the case during a Champions League final, he played, and we ended up shutting out Man City. We ended up winning the game 1-0. So, listen, I don't really know what it is. Like, he just backed at it. Like, obviously, maybe more relevant nowadays to him, just trying to force a move to Barcelona. Obviously, it's going to happen no matter what. But I just feel like there's a lot of circumstances in play. No one's really going to know the reasoning. But listen, again, just like you said, I wish him the best of luck. He did some good stuff for the club. So I like AC.
Yes, because, like, to be honest, I think Christensen under Thomas Tuchel, he improved a lot, and then we saw a lot of abilities, but unfortunately just have lack of focus sometimes. If you can check the Arsenal game, that back pass, that's the issue I'm having with Christensen. So, to be honest, best of luck. Him going to Barcelona, and then we're moving forward. Hopefully, we'll get a good replacement for him. Also, I would like to talk about both Azpilicueta and Marcus Alonso. They are both linked to Barcelona. So, guys, what do you think about Azpilicueta and Marcus Alonso? I'll start with you, JP.
I mean, I think with people being critical with Alonso, it's fair. I mean, granted, he's not our first choice. He's been Joel's backup, and considering how many games he's played with, like, little to no breaks, I think he does fairly well. But again, with whatever fight he had with Tuchel, calling him the cuss words in Spanish. I don't want to say it on your channel, but it does also seem that, okay, well, I think it's kind of easier to replace the likes of Alonso than it is for Azpilicueta, who, it is our veteran. I would like to keep him for one more season, not as a starter, but just to have his presence for a relative, a really young squad. that's coming up, especially when you have a possibility of Levi coming in. Koundé, I don't know how old Koundé is off the top of my head, but then all these other possible names that are coming in, like was for like Connor and whoever we wanted to sign. But we are pretty much losing two backups at this point, especially Bottas can't keep up with the pace of the game that Tuchel wants him or needs him to have. But we saw how Alonso played on the Leicester game. First goal was I don't know what he did, but at least he made up for his finishing. And I forgot who said it on what channel, but he's like, at this point we might as well put him as a left winger. It's not like Pulisic is doing any better, so might as well have him up top. But yeah, it is gonna hurt to see Azpilicueta go. He is Mr. Chelsea. For like the last how long now? How long has he been part of this club?
I think like
almost 10 years.
Yeah, 10 to 12 years or something.
Right.
He came the season after we won the Champions League.
So yeah, but the 10-year mark, yeah, because I remember where did he come from? I forgot what team in Spain.
Marseille, from France.
Oh, is it from France?
Yes, we got it for 7 million, a bargain.
I thought we got him from a Spanish club. Never mind. But either way, I mean, he made quite an impact right away, and then they never turned back. And he clearly loves the club. I don't really see that from Alonso, but again, Barcelona just come and poach our players. Let's see if they do anything under Xavi.
Yeah. Also, before we're going to Nick, let's address this question. Christensen could have been a perfect replacement for Thiago Silva. What do you think, guys?
I think he would have been. He would have been if he stayed at Chelsea. Yes, 100%. He could have replaced Silva when Silva does eventually go or steps in the dressing room. I hope he does stay with Chelsea when he's finished playing. He's going to be, he'd be a great example for the youngsters coming through. I think he has a role to play for at Chelsea, even if he doesn't play. So, yeah, Christensen would have been. But like we said before, it wasn't meant to be. So, let's see, let's see what happens. We have Chalobah still. He's progressing slowly. He's a good player already, but he's going to even become better soon. Yeah. That's what I want to say about.
What do you think, Jacob? Yes.
I think your mind is. I'll text you so you know.
Is it China?
Yeah, it's your, I think.
Yes, your mic's a little. What do I think about? Yeah, so both things real quick. Like, regarding AC, obviously he'd be an ideal Thiago Silva replacement. But I mean, he's leaving, so it's not going to be a Thiago Silva replacement. But regarding Aspi and Alonso, I mean, both of them are deadwood to us, but watch them both kill it in Barcelona. I would not be shocked at all. It's like everyone's talking about Pulisic, a horrific miss. I can't even defend him from that. But if Pulisic were to leave Chelsea, watch him go kill it somewhere else. It's a Chelsea thing. Once these players leave the club, they just kill it elsewhere. And it wouldn't shock me if that's the case for Alonso, Aspi, and other people. But regarding them, it's just like, I'm someone who is a huge advocate for switching the formation in the back four. I'm not even trying to switch the topic of discussion. I'm just trying to make a quick point. Like, JP, you talked about like Alonso's striking ability, right? Guess what?
Oh, yeah.
No, what were you gonna say?
Oh no! Like
yes.
Someone made a comment about it in another channel. Like, at this point, end of the season, why not put Alonso as left wing against Watford? So I was why not?
Yeah,
but yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're good. So just pretty much regarding.
No, let let me welcome Hano in the channel. Hano, how are you?
I'm good, thank you, and you?
I'm good. Thank you for joining in. We appreciate it. And then, Jake, you can continue.
Thank you. So our current setup 3-4-3, we play with these wing backs, right? And those guys are supposed to push up the field and they add to the attack. That's why Alonso gets so up the field and he's put in these positions. Regarding being in a back four, it's just like if he was a left back, obviously he's not pushing up the field as much. But like getting rid of Alonso potentially being in these positions in the attack shouldn't really hinder our attack. We shouldn't rely on Alonso being a part of our attack. So I just feel like if he can't defend and help us, if all he's doing is helping us in the attack, get out of here, bro. Like, and just real quick, another thing on Alonso, like when we played Real Madrid, and he got that goal disallowed, I was going crazy. Like Alonso scored that goal, I was like, on the volley for the lead, it's Alonso of all people.
That was game, set, match.
Oh my God, bro, JP, I was going crazy. The commentator's like, back in his home city, Real Madrid. I was like, what am I witnessing? And then only for it to be disallowed, I was like, it's just not written in the stars with this guy. I saw Chelsea Perspective make another comment like, believe me, if Alonso didn't want to leave himself, I doubt the club would sell him. Honestly, I feel you on that. And the fact that he wants to leave, let's follow suit there. And also, like JP, you mentioned like the heated debate with Tuchel. Like, I'd like to think that's true, but reports came afterwards that it was false. Mm-hmm. Classic journalism, just tweeting something out so they can tweet something out after. Gotta love fake journalism. It's ridiculous, but that's all I got.
For the clicks.
For the clicks.
For the clicks.
Yeah. Hano, you are not here before. I would like to ask you real quick about losing both Rudiger and Christensen before we move into Alonso and Azpilicueta.
So for me, it is Christensen. He can go because he's not top talent personally for me. He was good for us and he did great, but overall, we can replace him. Rudiger, on the other hand, is a sad situation to see him go. Of course, in the first stages of his career at Chelsea, he didn't perform to the best of his abilities, but Tuchel came in, he absolutely overachieved what everyone was expecting from him. And it is very sad that he has to go, but new impossibilities lie for him and for Chelsea. Maybe it's a silver line. It's not a silver line. Maybe it is a path to something greater for Chelsea, or who knows? Maybe it is a bit of a downfall for Chelsea in defense. But yeah.
Okay, cool. And then what do you think about Azpilicueta and Marcos Alonso? Because they are both.
Yeah.
I just want to make a quick comment before you proceed, Hano. Chelsea Perspective said another thing. Alonso will be a waste in a traditional left back. I understand there's wing backs and there's actual fullbacks, but guess what? And I know we play the formation with wing backs, but guess what? Even if you're a wing back, you got to be able to defend. This guy can't defend for jack. Like, all he does is go back and foul someone if they get by him. So, with that being said, he has no place here. No place.
You can only defend against Salah.
Somehow he only defends against Salah. How?
But with Azpi and Alonso, for me, Azpi I'm okay with it because I don't mind him going. He can go. He is old. Alonso, on the other hand, I would have liked him to stay because then it is not so many players to replace or and buy. Because if you look, we need it now we need to buy almost two left backs or left wing backs. Depends on uh, how you see it. If you want to buy two or one, where if we had Alonso, you could only have bought like one on just to serve as maybe a backup and then loan Alonso. But now you have to keep him. If he goes, now you have to find, let's say, now you have to find a backup for Chilwell and and maybe another one just if there is an injury crisis. Depends on how you want to see it. As for going, for me, is a blessing in disguise because I don't think the board would have replaced or get a replacement for the for Reece to a backup for Reece. So yeah, that's my fault on that.
Okay, we have a question from the Chelsea perspective. Do you guys think that Rudiger will do well without a cool head as Thiago Silva? I'm gonna bring this to Nick Blue first.
Yeah, will Rudiger do well without his friend Silva? Yeah, I think he will because Real Madrid do have some good players. You know, he's not going to any medium sort of club. He's going to a top club, top defenders there. Yeah, now, yeah, a coach is just, I think he knows that is well. But yeah, Rudiger will be fine. There's no problem there. But Silva did help him a lot. I must say, Silva was like a captain at the back. Whereas Aspie, captain, but Silva was like the leader. He told them where to put the ball. He showed them, he told them. And you can see they were following his orders, And that's why I want to see Thiago Silva as our captain next season. And he has to be the captain. Jorginho can stay. If he stays, he can be second. That's if he stays. Because we know his wife wants to go home. So we don't know what's going to happen with Jorginho. But, coaches... answer for that for me is yes, Rudiger will be fine. He's a big player now, one of the best in the world at his position, like we said. Yeah, so there won't be no problem for Rudiger. We have to move on. I'm afraid. We Rudiger lovers. We're very sad, but we have to take it. Chelsea is bigger than any player. Don't forget, Chelsea Football Club is bigger than any single player coming, going, whatever. We support Chelsea Football Club, and some fans forget that. They have their own agendas with certain players. They like to hate on players. That's not being a Chelsea fan. Like me, in the old days, we had complete rubbish players, but I backed them. We have, you seen Alonso now, you're saying he's not so good. You should have seen the players we had then. I could have played better. I'm not joking. And we backed them all the way. Even nearly going down to Division 3, 30 of the English pyramid, English league. But we backed them. Fans like me always back the players. We back the club wherever we are, That's why we have that song. Whoever we will be, we are the Chelsea famous CFC. That's the song. That's what it's about. Yes, so yes, that's my answer to Coach's question.
I just want to jump in here real quick. I think that's a very valid question, honestly, Coach Schiller, or a Chelsea perspective, because when you think about it, we played a back four under Lampard, right?
Yeah.
and he was just really not that good. Not that he was given that many opportunities, but he wasn't really that good in the back four, right? So he's going to Real Madrid. And by the way, in this time here, he's really found a home in that left center back role, and he's so good there because a part of that game is he's able to drive, he's able to go up and down the left flank, and no one does that better than Rudiger. We've seen it pretty much every game. We're pretty much waiting for that one Rudiger run. So he's going to Real Madrid now, where he's going to play in the back four unless they switch their formations. And guess what? Like I just said, he wasn't that good in the back four, and he's not going to have Thiago. He's not going to have Thiago Silva being the sweeper figure behind him. So
exactly, yeah.
On one
but
hand,
he did play it back
real quick. On one hand, like I don't think he's going to be able to adjust. But on the other hand, he's Rudiger and he's a top 3 defender, point blank period. So
I think he will adjust. Don't forget he played in the back four with us, not just Lampard, Tuchel, with Tuchel as well. Not many games, I know. But he did, he didn't have a problem with that. When people were saying, "Oh no, well, how's Rudiger going to perform now? We're going to a back four," but it didn't bother him. Rudiger is a top player for me. He will adjust to any system. Yeah.
So do you think when we did see him at Lampard's like back four system, it wasn't the best that we saw Rudiger? But yes.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Sorry, I forgot your name again.
JP.
GP. Yeah, I know what you're saying, but Lampard wasn't a good manager. Don't forget, he wasn't Rudiger. He's not right. Lampard is not a top manager, and he's still not. Just because Everton managed to win 3-2 against Palace.
That's not honestly a valid point, though. I'm not even trying to defend Lampard, but like that is really. I mean, he's the coach.
Yeah.
But like,
no, look, Lampard was great. I love Lampard as a player, as a legend. He is a legend and a great player for us. He was, but like I keep saying on so many streams, on everyone's channel, since he didn't talk up for Roman Abramovich, he's not. I don't have any good feelings towards Lampard right now.
I just want to say real quick now that you brought up Lampard, like. On a transfer ban, he got us top 4. He brought in diamonds in the rough and Reece James, Mason Mount. That was all Frank Lampard.
Yeah, I know. He brought the youth in.
But is that more of him or is that the transfer ban?
Yeah, but he didn't have any choice to, he had to bring it. We couldn't buy anyone. He done well. I'm not saying he done well with that, but after what happened, we ended up 9th, 10th in the table, and we were losing game after game, which never happened before. So and Tuchel came in and stopped all
that. We just saw him keep Everton safe from relegation.
That's luck. That's luck. That's not been a great manager.
That's luck with getting shafted by referees every game.
It's luck. Everton are lucky that Leeds are not informed. If Leeds were informed, they'd be going down. Everton.
It's not like he played. It's not like he just coached one game and.
Look, he's not the top. He will never be. Lampard will never be a top club manager like Gerrard, the same.
Listen, I'm not denying that. I'm just saying he did a job here and there, respectively.
Yeah, he done a job with a little job, but it's not a massive job. Otherwise, he would have sorted it out a lot earlier on. I don't. Like I said, he's not a manager. He's a good pundit. Bring him on the Sky or BBC. Sky, BT, he's brilliant at that. I like him as a pundit and as a player, but a manager, no, never.
So was like the original point saying like, can Rudiger fit into the back four system for Madrid? because I don't want to judge off of what we saw early on in Lampard's system because that was a different Rudiger than we see now. But going back to your point too, but the whole Lampard, is he good? Look, it's like a test in school. Like he got a D-. He did not fail, but came close to it. I'll say that. But I think he needs to get out of the EPL.
He got very close.
Get his feet wet. He got very close.
All right, we won't judge him right now. Let's judge him next season when he has a full season with Everton. See what he does with Everton next season. Now the players are on his side. So,
I mean, it's not like he's managing Man City. I mean, you got to have low expectations here.
No, yeah, but Everton, don't forget Everton were top four not long ago. and they just dropped.
That's what I've been saying. Like when they had Ancelotti, they were on the verge of revolutionizing that club.
Yes.
That guy, I loved Ancelotti at Everton.
Ancelotti he's a world-class manager. Like Mourinho, Ancelotti, Mourinho, Tuchel, Pep, Klopp even. I have to say, I hate Liverpool, but I have to say his name. Yeah, I hate to say he's good, but I'm afraid he is. These managers are top, and Lampard's got you will never make it to be like them, I'm afraid.
I'm not disagreeing.
He has to leave EPL to get to that, even close to that. That's what I'm saying, because at least Gerrard had the decency to what he did at Rangers. Lampard did it for Derby for how long? And he didn't even win anything. He just got into the playoffs.
Yeah,
going off that JP, like Aston Villa, in my opinion, like them and Newcastle, those are like two of the most exciting projects in the Premier. Like Aston Villa, they have a good team. Like they could be top. Like it's night and day.
Aston Villa were good with Dean Smith. Dean Smith he's another good manager. He's a good English manager. Dean Smith, Roy Hodgson, another one. These are very few and far between English managers at the moment. But Frank Lampard, he ain't gonna be a top manager. I might be wrong. You can all come back and say how wrong I was, and I will give you all £5 each if that happens.
You ask my wife. I already have enough pounds on me already. So
oh God!
But,
we have to laugh. We have.
You don't laugh, you cry.
Yeah, no, we had so much stress, BT. This been a Chelsea fan since March, since they banned Roman from being in the country. It's been too much. Then there's all the sanctions, all this rubbish. It's been hard to take. And I love Roman, and always will, and he will be back at the bridge as well. I know the question is silver, but we're going far.
Oh my
God. Good luck to Roman. What a leader, what a legend, our greatest legend ever in football history, in Chelsea history. No manager has done what Roman's done. 20 years, winning all those trophies, and no one's going to repeat that. I hope he does. Bowley said, he's going to try and do what Roman did. He will try his best, he said. Let's hope, it does happen, but, Roman's unreplaceable. What a man, what a gentleman, what a leader. What can I say about him? God. Yeah, we got off the question. Sorry, Tobago, take over.
Yes, I enjoy streams when you're around because you like to make jokes and everything. Anyway, guys, we need to move forward. And I saw a post from Just Yola talking about Jorginho extending a contract. So, what do you think about the situation in the midfield? Jorginho, Kante, are they good enough for us going forward into the new season? Also, the rebuild under Thomas Tuchel. So, do you think is it necessary, or is it a good way to keep both of them moving forward? What do you think, guys? So I'll start to Hanu.
Before I answer this question, I got a question for the panel. What are we going to do with the Kai Havertz song? Because I know we sing Roman Abramovich, but Roman is not our owner anymore. What are we going to sing now?
Bowley's got the same syllables, so we got to switch Roman to Bowley.
Wait, what are we going to do with what?
The Havertz song.
The Kai Havertz Roman, do you know what that's worth?
I mean, it's a good song. It's a good song.
We just got to replace the word Roman with Bowley.
It's just like the Timo. Everyone says Timo. Like that. That's the most hilarious thing in my opinion. But if he got sold, it's not going to be sung anymore. So it is what it is.
Yeah.
Timo.
But But for me, before before the last few games, I wanted Jorginho to go, but now Kante has just dropped to another level of. So I would sell Kante and then keep Jorginho, because if we can buy Tchouaméni, we have two setters, and Tchouaméni can also go forward. So yeah, and we got Kovacic, who's also a great midfielder, and then you've got the likes of Conor Gallagher and the rest, and Billy Gilmore. You got probably want him to go out on a loan again. So yeah, but I got to leave. So yeah, thanks for having me on, and big up the panel, big up you, and yeah, hopefully Chelsea can make us proud.
Thank you, Hanno, for coming here. And then I would like to welcome a fair boy into the stream. Welcome, man. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing well. Yourself?
I'm good. I'll hit you with a question. What do you think about the situation we're having now with Jorginho and Kante? Who should we keep, or should we keep both of them going forward in the next season?
It will depend on the situation we find ourselves in. As in, if we can find the right replacements for them. So, for someone like Kante, I think there are certain players who can replace him, like Gallagher and co. But for me, I feel like next season we would still need experience, because we are still rebuilding, and we cannot rebuild the team with the children alone. The pressure will be too much on them. So it's important that we get experience to guide them. So for me, I would stick with Jorginho and perhaps Kante a little bit, at least, so that they can provide that guidance for them. So for me, next season, if both of them can stay, I'll be very glad. If both of them can stay, because they can help the young guys like Gallagher. Maybe if Gilmore comes, Jorginho can mentor Gilmore and the others, so that if they leave one day, they could replace them.
Okay, I hear your point, but to be honest, from my side, I think moving forward, we need a defensive midfielder. But I think Jorginho or Kante, one of the two, need to stay just for a leadership role, and understand the Chelsea culture well, so that the new player can come in and fit into our club. So yeah, man, that is my say. But anyway, I'll hit it to Jake. Jake, what do you think about keeping Jorginho and Kante?
Firstly, on Kante, I saw there's a few big Twitter accounts I follow, like Absolute Chelsea. I don't know if you guys know about them. They post like quotes a lot and stuff. They tweeted out after the game like, N'Golo Kante's future discussed. And I was just like, keep him. There's nothing to discuss. Like N'Golo, like why would we get rid of N'Golo Kante? I can't comprehend why would we ever get rid of N'Golo Kante. That's just my personal opinion. Regarding Jorginho, I'm gonna make this quick. Someone tweeted this out who I follow after the Champions League final. It was like, there's 5 seconds, or no, not the Champions League final. It was the second leg of the quarterfinal versus Real Madrid. The guy tweets out, there's 5 seconds left in the Champions League quarterfinal. We're down 1 and Jorginho passes it backwards. So I don't like Jorginho and his passing sideways and his passing backwards. I think he's a very unique profile. He brings a very unique profile to our game. I don't want our team to be our team's literally built around Jorginho. Like, people say we can't play the back four because we don't have the personnel. It's also because we have Jorginho as our defensive mid, and it's better for him to be in a double pivot apparently. So, I just think we're built way too much around him. Forget getting any money for him. I think we paid like what, 55 million or something for him. If we get 5 to 15 million from Juventus, I'll happily take that and run. So, get Jorginho out, keep Conte at all costs. I have no idea why we would ever get rid of Conte.
Okay, JP, what do you think about this situation?
Well, if we're thinking of like long-term project, long-term rebuilds, we would have to make moves to sell them this year, because if since their contracts both expire next summer, this is the best time to get any type of big money off of them, because come around January and there's no discussion, nothing to be really negotiated. Other teams are just going to lowball us. They're just going to offer what they want, and if we don't really see anything in our future plans, we would have to take it. I mean, Conte, because if the talks to PSG is still a thing, then perfect. Jorginho to Juventus, great. Now Conte, I don't know he's just been very consistent for me personally. But that's just, again, my opinion. You could look at the mistake that he caused at the second leg in the Madrid game. That did cost us for that counterattack for I think it was the tying goal. But besides him being inconsistent, he's even looked all that sharp in the Leicester game. And then Jorginho, yes, Jake hit a spot on where he passes backwards too much, and he does take too long. Sorry about that. He does take a little time with his decisions. So we're trying to put I don't know if he'd be better as or more suited for like just a regular CM or a cam, but he's definitely not really all that great in our CDM spot at the moment. And that's where, if we're gonna try to build a team like where he would be at, or how he would want Jorginho to distribute the passes, then I think that would be better suited for like Connor Gallagher to come in. But if we keep him, we keep him. But I'd rather just get more money we can, so we can properly finance for this upcoming transfer window.
I just want to say real quick, it's been a pleasure, guys. I got to hop off. But seriously, big up all of you. Hope all is well. And thank you guys for having me on. Thank you, Tytalkz. Thank you, Taboga. JP, nice meeting you, dog.
Yeah, likewise, man.
Yes, sir, bro.
Thank you, man.
All right, guys. And also, for anyone in the chat, you can check me out on Twitter at Come On You Booze Jake. But I also have a small YouTube. It's Come On You Booze TV. We'll be pumping out content a lot more this summer, and especially for next season. So, just big up all of you. Stay safe. Hopefully, it's a good transfer window. Take care.
Okay, guys. Make sure you follow Jake's YouTube channel. He's an upcoming YouTube content creator. So let's follow him and then make sure we make him grow also. And first of all, again, I would like to thank the people in the chat for joining us. And then just hit the like button. And if you're new, just subscribe to the channel. Please. Now I think we need to talk about the incoming players who might come to Chelsea Football Club. So we have likes of. I want to talk about first of all about Jules Koundé. Fair boy, what do you think about Jules Koundé?
For me, it's hearsay about him. Like, honestly, I have not watched the boy play before. I don't follow the Spanish La Liga, but from what I'm hearing, people say he's a very good player. I don't know how massive he would improve our team, but we would need replacements at the back end.
Is everything all right?
Do you guys can hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you can go ahead, man, about the Jules Koundé. Are you watching him at the Sevilla?
Is he
I
muted?
think Kouazi's having problem.
No, JP, you can go ahead.
Oh, okay. I thought it was maybe that he was I'm not gonna pretend like I keep up with every team or as much as possible, especially across different leagues. But from what I've seen of Koundé, then I do like how he plays. I do think he could fit in our system. And we're also talking about a player who wanted to come to Chelsea since last season, but Sevilla wanted to be greedy and up the price at the last second when everything was already agreed. So when you have a player that's already, one, had the urgency to come here, two, denied his request to come and play for that team, for 1 whole year with the team that held him back, I would imagine he would be all set to go and ready to prove something in England. So I do have high hopes for this guy, and it just seemed like this is, if any of these signings, because you've seen how the rumors for transfers, and Jake said it too, the media likes to give any type of name for likes. I won't be surprised if we're going to see Messi connected to Chelsea somehow, but Koundé looks like it's going to be like it's 99% certain that's going to happen. So do have high hopes for them.
Yeah. I also like Jules Koundé because I watch a lot of Sevilla games. I know this season is not one of his best seasons. Maybe it's because he really wanted to come to Chelsea Football Club. So unfortunately, due to the circumstances were happening, he ended up not coming to Chelsea. So Nick Blue, I want to ask you about Jules Koundé. What do you think about Jules Koundé? How will he offer the team next season?
Yeah, I think he's a good player. All right, he's not having a great season, but maybe what you're saying because he's thinking about Chelsea. He's been wanting to come to Chelsea for a while now, and he's not very tall, but he has a big lip. He can out jump even tall players. For me, he's a good. We need him. We need Koundé. I think he'd be good for us. And regarding Jorginho, I don't think. I hope he doesn't go because he is a great player. He's a top player, top world-class player. I know he passes sideways and backwards sometimes, but that's not down to him. Sorry? What?
Sorry about it. Sorry.
Oh, all right. Yeah, Jorginho, for me, he's a good player. I don't want him to go. And because, we know his game is he passes sideways and that and whatever, but he controls the midfield. He can control the game. And he done it a lot of times at Chelsea when we needed him to come on and close the game down to make sure we win them games. He had a few of them. For me, he's a good leader as well. He's not the right captain like Aspie, but he's not second captain for nothing. And I don't want to see him go. I don't want to see Kante go. But Kante ain't gonna get many as much as game time as this season. So it doesn't matter if Tchouaméni comes in. There's still room for Tchouaméni if he comes. And Jorginho, for me, I hope he stays. His wife, he's 50-50 because his wife wants to go back to Italy. But he said he wants to stay at Chelsea. Let's see. Let's see. If they can come to an agreement with the contract and everything. And and same with Kanté. Kanté is great. If he accepts the same wages he's on, and he doesn't want more, he could stay, but he could also leave. He could be tempted. I don't know. But, another great player, world-class player, we can't afford to lose Kanté. He's got to be, he's important. On the bench, on the pitch, he's still a big leader for us. Best ever, one of the best, the best midfield player in the world, even now for me. So we can't afford to lose these sort of players. We're going to have Gallagher and Gilmore. Gilmore could be, we're not sure about if he's going to stay or want to go on loan or go to Rangers. But we need our experienced players because we're going to lose a lot. We're losing Rudiger, Christensen, Alonso, and maybe Aspi as well. So we need Jorginho, Kanté, Kovacic. These are players we must keep because the young, we can't have all youngsters in the team. We have enough already. So that's what I think. We need to. I'm all for Jorginho. He's a great player.
But I want to ask you both this question: is N'Golo Kante the N'Golo Kante that we know due his recent form, or maybe it's because he's having an injury season? Like you saw it yesterday game, he lost so many balls in one game. So is that an issue going forward to rebuild the squad, or just having an off season? Will next season improve going forward? I want to ask you that question because it's so important that we don't lose the balls in the midfield. Just like we already saw the Kovacic mistake he had against Wolves turns into a goal. So we don't need really same issues at the same time. So I want to ask you this question: is N'Golo Kante the same N'Golo Kante we all know?
Yeah, for me, all right, he hasn't been the same Conte, for a few games, but because he's getting on a bit. And don't forget, when he was playing good, he made up for 3 players. One Conte was 3 players on that pitch. The amount of work he done, and he still does that when he comes on, but not as good as before because he's overplayed. He's getting on. So for me, to have Kanté on the bench even, or in big games to start in the finals, semi-finals, that's when you're gonna need Kanté. He ain't gonna be able to play so much next season if he stays. He will play some games, but Tuchel knows how to manage Kanté. If someone knows, it's Tuchel. Lampard overplayed him, and then that's why he lost from that time. But I think Tuchel knows how to use Kanté, and I'm sure he's going to stay. I hope. It depends on the money, on the contract.
Yeah, and then JP, what do you think about the question I asked Nick Blue?
So Nick's right. It isn't the same Kante that from before, and it is because he has been overplayed, overworked. The main thing that we took for granted, right? But the main thing we appreciate is that the guy was like a non-stop engine. Like he would run up and down for the whole 90 if he could, but now it's just he can't keep up. He's injury prone, and his age is catching up with him. That biological clock is ticking. At 31, not saying it's a straight dip from the player he was or the player we know that he is, but it's steadily declining. But so this again, which brings me back to why I said do I want to sell him? I said yes, because we can get the most out of it this summer. By next summer, we don't know what to expect, but it's a gamble to have him. And it would be nice to have that leader in the midfield, like the veteran, but it's just too much of a risk. And whether he stays or not, like Nick said, we support. I don't care what your name is. I don't care you come from, whatever. You're wearing the Chelsea kit. You're wearing that blue. We have your back 100% of the way. You might get some criticism, but you're still playing for our club.
Okay, and then we're also linked with Chouameni from Monaco. So my question now for Chouameni, if we'll be able to get Chouameni from Monaco, who should we pay him going for the next season? Also, what can he offer Chelsea Football Club going forward? Like from my side, I would say, like in recent games, especially at home, we are conceding easy goals because like lack of losing balls position in the midfield, or our midfield is out of position. So we need a person who can sit just to protect our center backs going forward, because like it's good to have a person who can clean the dirty works while we're having an issue in the back. So do you understand what I'm saying, guys?
Like someone that could be the anchor, like someone that could stay and help and support the center backs and along with the
yes, just you remember Matic, he was sitting first.
Yeah.
So I think, yeah, you can talk. Man.
No. So the question is, how would Chouameni fit in that system? Or do we see him fitting in there?
Yes, like if we get Chouameni, how would he fit into our system? And then do you think we will get him? Because like now, a lot of teams are up for him, and then we should have got him last season. So unfortunately, we didn't get him. We move on, and then apparently his buy clause is bigger than last season. So what it is, guys, nothing can do. So if we get Chouameni, how are we going to move forward?
Well, having him, I think it does give that more of a holding center mid or center defensive mid type of player, which would allow then Kovacic to move forward if needed, or have Connor be playing more of the number 8 if we do switch with that back 4 system. But the reason why I don't want to think too much at the possibility of Chouameni joining, just because it just really seems unlikely. You hear more talk of him going to Liverpool or Madrid, and if not, then PSG in a sense. But if we get him, I think it would be a great addition to, kind of fill that void that we're at least a Matic type of player holding down the center defense or holding down the defense and assisting. Because we have too much of that gap and that space where both midfielders just overcommit, and it just leads us to expose. Chouameni would help in that role.
Yeah, and then Dick Blue, what do you think about Chouameni? If we'll be able to get, do you hear me?
Yeah, he'd be a great signing if we do get him. I know, Liverpool, PSG, and other clubs are after him. So, it's going to be an expensive signing as well. But he's worth it. He's a good player. And we need him, like BT said. Like you said, we need someone there for Kovacic to run even more forward. because Kovacic has that. He can dribble, he can run, he can attack. The only thing he doesn't have is scoring, too often. But when he does score, he's spectacular. We need Tchouaméni there because Kante's getting, like we said, Kante ain't going to be used so much if he stays. So that's why we're trying to get Tchouaméni. The reason because of Kante. Yeah, I like to get him, really do. I hope he doesn't go to Liverpool or PSG or anywhere else. Let's see if Bowley, really wants. If Tuchel really wants him, and Bowley will put out the money. There's no reason why he won't come to Chelsea. So let's see what happens with that as well.
Okay, welcome back, fair boy. What do you think about Tchouaméni?
Oh yeah, Tchouaméni is a very good player. I think he would be a fantastic addition to our team. The problem is, since we've not been able to sort out, I want to know when our owners can now take over.
To be honest, like so far, I'm not gonna say it might be tomorrow or Sunday or Monday, but as per reports, they were hoping that the takeover should have been done yesterday or today, but hopefully this weekend might be officially done. So we'll wait and see.
Okay. So because my problem is, if our owners are not, I don't know if the government have lifted some sanctions on Chelsea, whether we can start talking or negotiating to players, because Tchouaméni will be a fantastic.
Let me bump it out. Nothing's been lifted till Bowley actually enters Stamford Bridge, enters Roman's office. Nothing's going to change. But like Tobacco said, we're hoping next week. Next week, that'd be the question. That'd be the answer. He'd be at Stamford Bridge. We're hoping. Even on Sunday we can't go to games still. Only the tickets are only for season ticket holders. So it won't happen till the season ends. I'm afraid. So, but it's going to happen. Yeah, but I just want to go. Sorry, go. Sorry, Kwasi.
I'm not talking about the season. I'm talking about our abilities to negotiate with players now, because I thought that was part of the sanctions.
Yeah, we can't do nothing right now. So we can do it when he signs out the line, and that's the easy honor for Chelsea Football Club. Then we can do what we want. We can, but we can talk to players. They're already talking to players, Tuchel and Bowley. No one can say we can't talk, but we can't. Okay. We can't negotiate properly. You understand?
Okay. Anyways, I think I just digress. But
yeah,
that's what's happening. On the fact of the matter is, Tchouaméni is a very good player. Like I've learned he has this sort of engine that N'Golo Kante has, just that he's taller than Kante. So I think where Kante has limits when it comes to the aerial presence, Tchouaméni will provide that physicality for us in the midfield. So I hope that those who are competing for Tchouaméni's signature, we can win his signature, because he'll be a very good player. And trust me, I think we need depth. So if we have these young boys around and we have Tchouaméni around, it will be good. In case Tchouaméni is absent, someone can come in to replace him. If N'Golo Kante does not leave and Tchouaméni is still around, still there is depth, because Tchouaméni adds lots of quality to our team. He improves our team massively. So for me, I think it's a good deal. And if you could sign Tchouaméni, then our team will be okay. I think so. So that's my take on that.
I'd rather take the Tchouaméni price than to take the Declan Rice price, because if they're still asking for the 150 million, and then I think something else too, no, thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree. No Uncle Ben's rice at Chelsea FC. We don't need Like I said before, so many times, he's overrated because he's English, and he's and he's a Mason Mount friend. We don't want to see Declan coming to Chelsea playing silly boys with Mason Mount. That's all we need.
It's Mount number 2.
You can take that down to Arsenal if he wants to.
But guys, beside the price tag, I think Rice is a good player. He has a potential, but due to the price tag, it's no for me, because like we're in a process that we need to rebuild, and then because we can't just put a price buy a player on 150 while we are trying to rebuild. It will be wasting a lot of money, guys. So I think we need to stay at West Ham, and then until they lower the price. So unfortunately, we can't pay 150 for a defensive midfielder. That's not worth it. I'd rather go for Tchouaméni, because like he's a cheaper one. And also about Tchouaméni, what I like, he can play as a lone defensive midfielder, can play as a double, can play as a 3. He's so versatile. And then going forward, we need versatile players in our squad. So, for example, I will mention Reece James. Reece James can play as a right back, right wing back, as a DM, sometimes as a right center back. We need players that, when we are struggling, will come and fill in that position. Also, we need quality players. I hate the fact that we are saying like we need backups. We don't need backups. We need quality players. We need competition. We need to win trophies, because, like, for example, if you are having a backup, the main player will always know that if I'm playing bad, the backup might not play in my position. So we need quality players so that we can have competition in our squad. That's my say, guys. I don't know. Do you agree with me?
Yes, I agree with the points you're making, and that's very important, especially when it comes to the starting positions. It's important that we get quality who have had more exposure to so many situations in game. So if we have these qualities, it's important, and that is why those who will be on our bench should also be of, if it's not more than the caliber of player that's starting, at least equal to the caliber of player that's starting, so that we could have the depth to be able to compete across board. So if we have someone like a Tchouaméni, okay, then we have someone like a Gallagher, who these two players play the same positions. They can share the number 8 role, right? It means that if Tchouaméni gets injured or is suspended for some reasons, someone like Gallagher can come in and fill for him. And that's what we are talking about. The best teams in the land have squad depth. And if we have this sort of quality starting for us, and we have also some equally good quality also on the bench, it helps us. It helps our cause. So I agree with that the point you've made.
JP, you can come in, because like I saw that you are going anytime soon. What do you want to add about what I said, or going forward into our next season?
Well, hopefully the main thing is that we can get the defense rebuilt, because a good amount is leaving, and then getting rid of the deadwood. So we rebuild from defense going upwards and find perfect. Attack is the last thing we just have to focus on, not because it's our least flawed. We already see how flawed it is, but if we can get the defense sorted out with the players that we've mentioned, like Secunde or Cucurella, and I can never pronounce this, the other player, Vidal. But if we have that set, we should be fine. Ben Chilwell's coming back, and Tchouaméni will be a great signing. I've been an advocate for him and the likes of maybe Basuma from Brighton, especially if Cucurella comes back or comes to Chelsea. I think it'd be just a great pairing. This is going to be an exciting summer, and it's going to be the summer that we haven't seen Chelsea be in a while, because if what Boli said was true, the frivolous spending like from Roman's time, just like one or two players, that's coming to an end. So I have high hopes for this team, and I do think we're going to be competing properly with Liverpool and City, and then also going for the European titles. And just as a little prop, we still have this. I know it says US, but this is going to mean UEFA Stallions or European Studs until the end of the month, when it's either Madrid or Liverpool. But like I said, I have to head out in a second, because if I don't, my wife is going to kick my ass. So guys, it's been so much fun. Thank you for having me on here. I can't wait to do this again. And whenever you guys want to hop on the channel too, for me, I'm more than welcome, everyone and anyone.
Thank you, JP. We appreciate your time, and it's lovely to have you here, man.
Thank you.
Hopefully, we'll see you next. Thank you. Hopefully, I will see you in the next coming strips.
You just let me know, and I'm there. And it was good meeting everyone. It's good talking to everyone. Come on, Chelsea. Come on, you Blues.
Hey, guys. I would like to talk about. Okay, can talk.
No, please go on. Please go on.
What?
Okay. I would like us to talk about Koulibaly, because we are losing a Rudiger, an aggressive a player, a leader. So from my side, I'm gonna say Koulibaly is a right replacement for Rudiger, because like we almost have the same qualities with Rudiger. But anyway, this is the Premier League. We'll give him time. But as I said, he's aggressive. He's a leader. He can run and everything. So and also his price tag is a bargain, guys. We should go for him. But anyway, I would like to ask you guys about Koulibaly. Yes, Koulibaly. You can start. Anyone can start.
I want to ask you a question.
Cool.
I want to ask you a question. How old is Koulibaly?
He's 30 years old.
Yeah, 30, yeah.
He's over 30. So if we think about it, how many years of good football can we get from him?
3 to 4 years.
Well, there's no
guarantee.
There's no reason why he can't go to like a Silva. If it depends how he keeps himself. If he does like Silva, he can be there another 5 years, 6 years. No one knows that. Yeah.
But guys, you know why I want Koulibaly? Because like we can't just go for Jules Koundé. Maybe we might pay 70 or 60 for him, and another top centre back might cost us similar amount.
Yeah.
So for a transition period, you can talk.
The reason why I'm asking about his ages, if Koulibaly is 30 years or over 30 years, let me see. We don't know the exact age actually.
He's 30 years old.
Is him?
I know the age.
How old is he?
30 years old.
He's 30. Okay.
Yes.
And you say we can get about 3 years out of him. The problem is, at the age of 30, would it be a short-term project for us as we plan for a sort of new centre back that will fill in that role?
You know why
Yeah, unlike Thiago Silva, yes, like Thiago Silva like this, he's not staying at club for that long. So it means that we are to look for a replacement for him, a long-term replacement for him. So that's why for me, I'm worried about the age. But I don't know. That's me.
Nick, you can go ahead.
Yeah, for me, I can't see, anyone else apart from Koulibaly to replace Rudiger right now. It might not be for the long term, but at least he still has 3-4 years in him. So that's not short term either. So we need him. Koundé, yes, but we need Koundé, we need Koulibaly, and we need someone else as well. And for me, Kilman of Wolves will be good as well at the back. And we have Chalobah, we have Reece James. Still, and maybe still Aspie, but Aspie won't, if he says he won't play so many games. So, we need someone like Rudiger. And the nearest one for me right now is Koulibaly. So he has to come. And I think we will go for him. There was talk today even, Chelsea are looking at Koulibaly. They're probably even maybe talking to him right now while we speak. So let's see what happens with that. But for me, he's a great player.
Yes, and then Kwasi, I want to answer a question. Like, from your side, do you think is it wise, for example, to be able to buy Jules Koundé and another young centre back? For example, we're linked with Jasko. Jasko from
because for me, the signing of Koulibaly from the mentorship.
Are you there, Kwasi? Nick, can you hear me?
Yeah, I'll hear you.
What's the name?
Yeah, I'll hear you. Yeah,
Jasko.
Yeah.
Kwasi,
I don't know. Yeah, who? Yeah, can you? Yeah, I'll hear you. Yeah, I don't know if you can hear me.
What?
Oh, you're there. All right.
I can hear Nick.
Well, we hear you.
I don't know if you can hear.
Yeah.
Okay. You mentioned someone we're linked to after Koundé, and I want to get the name again.
Jasko Grav. Let me just Jasko Gavior from Leipzig.
I don't actually. This name looks foreign to me. I don't actually know him. I'll have to research. Wow.
Come on. Which leagues do you watch? Like apart from English Premier League?
I've actually watched none of the leagues, so I'm telling you.
Yeah, I think that's the issue. So from your side, who should we sign then?
Look, Jules Koundé is young. I think we should sign Jules Koundé. I think he's very versatile. He can play across the back four. He can play as a left back, right centre back, left centre back, right back. He can play across all four positions. So he will be quite useful for us. Okay, and I think he's also had some European experience. He's also had some. He's had some match experience. So I think he will be a suitable player for our club. He's also a ball-playing centre-back, so it's okay. For the other guy you just mentioned, I don't actually know him. So unless I research him to come to understand what sort of player he is. But I think Jules Koundé, for me, from what I know about Jules Koundé is an obvious choice for me.
So we should. So from your side, we should sign only Jules Koundé. That's it.
Okay, Jules Koundé. Okay, yes, we need the other centre back. So Jules Koundé, it's tough. It's tough. Koulibaly is okay. Yeah. But the other centre back, I'm not sure. I think we have Chalobah. We should be fine.
And Nick, you can come in. What do you say about this?
I say we need Koulibaly. I've been saying it all along, and Chelsea will try to get Koulibaly. And Koundé is not. We just can't get Koundé only. We need Koulibaly. We need Koundé. Koundé will be coming, and we might need another player as well in maybe Kilman, when someone like him. He's a good player at the back for Wolves. I think you know who I'm talking about, Tobago. And there's another one who can come in. And we have Chalobah, but don't forget Chalobah's young. He's not enough. He won't be able to play every single game, and we don't need mistakes to happen. And Sarr, he be going. Sarr, I can't see him staying at Chelsea. He might be sent on loan, maybe. So, it's important we get Koulibaly, very important. And, the money-wise, all right, for a 30-year-old, it might sound a lot, but I don't think it's that much. He's still a good player. He hasn't dropped off that much. Yeah.
Yes, that's the thing. Like, we are losing a really aggressive player and a leader, and then we end up signing a ball playing centre backs, and then we'll be like just Manchester United. If you can check Manchester United, Maguire is a ball playing centre back. Lindelof the same thing, Varane the same thing. That's why they can't defend, because like they're even the similar centre backs. So anyway, guys, let's move on from this topic. I want to talk about Cucurella.
Yeah,
what do you think about Yes.
Yeah, I hope we get Cucurella. What I've seen of him with Brighton. He's very good. He's fast. He can cross the ball, accurate, which we don't have many players doing that right now. We have Ziyech, but Ziyech doesn't play enough. And who else can cross the ball like Cucurella in our team? So, it'd be a great addition. And I think we will try and get him as well. So, let's see how much Boaldi wants to spend. Because we need quite a few players. But, hopefully we get three at least, sort the defense out. That's the main thing now. Sort the defense out and slowly build up the team. Because we still have our great youngsters. Don't forget, we still have, in the midfield, we have Kovacic, we have, hopefully Jorginho will still be there. And Kante will still be there, hopefully. And if we get Tchouaméni, that's another one. So we're talking about, if we get Cucurella, Tchouaméni, Koulibaly, that's 3. Koundé 4. If we get them 4 players, I'll be more than happy. This transfer window, that'd be a great transfer window if we get these 4 players. But it's a big if. So let's see. We have to wait and see. It's a big if, but I'll be over the moon if we do manage to do that. That'd be fantastic. Yeah.
But
so, Kwazi, do you know Cucurella, right?
Yeah, I know Cucurella, and I really know Cucurella. He's a very good footballer, very, very good footballer. And look, he's also that versatile. I've seen him play as a left centre back before. So if you have such a player, it's good for us. When players are injured, they can fill in for us. There's one player I've also noticed. I think he plays for Wolverhampton. He's also a left back. He's Aït Nouri. I don't know if anyone is familiar with Aït Nouri.
Yes, I know him.
Yes, he's also a very good footballer. So imagine we acquired these two players. Look, Kukurea can be converted into a left centre back in case we maintain the back three. A left centre back, Ainuri as a wing back or a deputy wing back for perhaps Chilwell, in case Chilwell comes back and retains his spot, right? But he could also be an option. He's also a quality player. So I think if we have Kukurea, he's not a bad player. He very versatile. Going forward, he's very good. When it comes to defending, he's also very good. He will be a quality addition for us. I just hope we get him.
Yeah, I hope so too, man. I hope so too. Because, like, to be honest, we need quality players. So if you can have Chilwell and Cucurella on the same side, we are so strong on the left hand side. Also, I want to talk about the right hand side. Is it necessary to buy another right back? Because, like, apparently they said that Dusan Sterling should come and then just to show up on the preseason, what he can offer to the team, and then if he will perform, and he'll given a chance. Are you guys familiar with the Dusan Sterling?
Yeah. But I think I don't know if he's ready for the first team. Tobago. Yeah. I don't think we need someone like when Rhys James is out, someone who's going to replace Rhys James if he's injured, or I can't see Sterling, being in the first team straight away. That is, yeah. Well, I think we need to.
Do you hear me, guys?
Yeah. Do you hear me? I don't know.
Yes. Because you can.
Yeah, I don't think he's ready for the first team. Yeah, go on.
John Sterling. Look, we've brought a lot of these academic boys into our team, and to be fair, some have performed very well. But again, as I'm saying, since we are in a rebuilding process, I don't think we need to add more of these academic boys to play for our club. So for the right back or right wing back, we'll still have to go for experience. I'm trying to think of some players that are good, that we can slot in. And for me, I'm disappointed in the fact that we sold someone like Tariq Lamptey. I don't know if you could buy him back. Livramento is also a good player. He has some experience. I don't know if you could acquire him again. And which other right backs are there? That's our quality. I think we have to turn our attention away from the Premier League. There might be some good right backs. So I think that if we want someone to deputize for Rhys James, John Sterling, look, he doesn't have. I'm not sure he has that sort of experience to be able to deputize for someone like Rhys James. So I'm just wondering who can do that for us.
Yeah. Yes, I can see the issue you're having on a right back position, because like it's not easy. Like, just for example, to buy a left back and a right back at the same time. So hopefully we can get another backup, not a backup, a strong right back, or a person who can give Rhys James a rest when we need him. So hopefully that position also we need to sort it out. So anyway, it's up to the new owners. Do they want to make the fans happy? do they want to back Tuchel? Because to be honest, if they want back Tuchel might be frustrated and angry, and we end up losing a great coach. So hopefully that won't happen. But anyway, guys, I want to talk about like Roman Abramovich, just a little bit about Roman Abramovich. Was he fair on how he was quick on firing coaches? I want to ask you that question, guys, because from my side, we lost so many good coaches. I remember Ancelotti in the first season. He was so good. The second season, he finished second, and he got sacked.
Yeah. Who you asking?
It might not. Any of us.
Yeah, go. You start, Quasi.
It might not be fair on the coaches, but the question I'll ask is, did it work for our club? It did. We won lots of trophies, right? And one thing is that players are paid, like a lot of investment goes into player sales and wages than acquiring coaches. That's it. So if the player is not playing well and there is a problem in the dressing room, definitely the coach will be sacrificed. It's not fair, but that's how the game is. But even though it's not fair on the coaches, the real question is, has it worked? Has it brought some success to our club? And indeed, it has brought some success to our club. Under Abramovich, we've won 6 Premier League titles. We've won a number of FA Cups, League Cups, the Champions League. We've won it twice. We've won the Europa League, the Super Cup. We've won it. The Club World Cup. We've won all these trophies. All these, whether major or minor trophies, we've won these trophies under Abramovich, who was using this sort of tactics, hiring and firing managers. So for me, it might not be fair on the manager, but to some extent, it has brought us success. So I cannot complain much about it.
Go on, Nick.
Yeah, I don't blame Roman one bit, you know that. Yeah, but at the time, Roman, that's why he won so many trophies, like Kwasi just said. He had to get rid of managers. He didn't want the players to take over the dressing room. That's why they didn't last long. He didn't want that to happen. That's what I think. So he fired them.
Is everybody all right? What's happening?
I'm here. Maybe. Oh, I thought it's my audio.
Yeah, what's wrong with is Nick still there? Is Nick still talking, but his Wi-Fi is out?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure we hear him.
You hear me now?
Okay. Yeah, we're hearing you now.
Yeah, so that's why I think that's why Roman, sacked the managers. Because, we got used to winning trophies. Roman wanted to make sure, to win trophies, to keep the players happy, and to go with the players instead of the manager. With the managers. That's what I think. And he worked out. He worked brilliantly for us. We were gutted when Ancelotti went. We were going mad. I remember. I was going crazy myself. Then same thing with Mourinho. I was gutted when he left. No one wanted. We didn't want Mourinho to go the first time, but the first time he went, he wanted to prove himself somewhere else. He went, but we knew he'd be back. We knew Mourinho would be back. He came back, had a bad season. Had a bad season with the, with the certain players. He didn't get along with some players, and that's why he got the sack. And so we, now we have Tuchel. I thought we had Sarri, Lampard. There was an up to it. And now we have a decent, last we have a decent manager where Roman was getting used to, and I don't think Roman would have given him a big contract as well. If he was still the owner, he's still the owner. But I'm just saying, Roman would have kept Tuchel for a long period, at least a 3-year contract, which he will get from Boli. You can tell the difference. Even Roman's thinking. The man is a legend. So you can't blame Roman for one bit. Nothing. I don't blame him for nothing. He's done just good for this club.
Yeah, can I quickly say something?
Cool.
Yeah, I'll tie you back. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Let me just say this quickly. Can you guys still hear me?
We
Yeah.
can
You
hear
guys still hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I can hear you, bro.
But before I let DJ come in, I just want to quickly respond to what Quasi said, and it's that he can't really complain about the chopping and changing of managers. Now, for me, I can agree where he's coming. I can agree and I can understand where he's coming from with that. However, you can say that he hasn't sent us back a long back a bit in some steps every time we do it. I mean, some managers it's understandable that they were sacked because in some cases we were dropping down the table. But don't you think that especially players like Ancelotti and Conte, even though Conte really wanted to leave and he was kind of doing that, don't you think that in some cases where we in a sense impatience got the best out of the owner and the board and everything? Don't you think that if they had gotten a couple more time, that maybe they could have built a dynasty? Obviously, we're seeing it now with Tuchel, and the difference right now, and the difference between what happened with Di Matteo is that obviously we haven't really decreased in performance consistently after winning the Champions League. However, we haven't really improved in a sense from last season. There's a stat saying that we are on the same points that we were on last season, and we are the same point behind Man City. Don't you think that now that we're seeing that with a good manager and with patience, we can actually build something? Don't you think that if other managers got that opportunity, don't you think that we could have made 4 passes?
Yeah, maybe it could have happened, but we're talking about Roman. Why he got he was sacking managers. He sacked the managers because, like I said, in the dressing room, he didn't want the players to take over from the manager. That's one thing. And another point, like you said, they could have been given more time, but it didn't happen because Roman didn't see it that way. Any little thing he saw in that dressing room, he acted quickly, and he acted by sacking the manager unexpectedly. We surprised us a few times, but I don't blame him at all because Roman knew what he was doing. Even with Mourinho, second time, he got a bit toxic, and we didn't like it. I didn't want Mourinho to go, never. But it happened. But and we moved on. We brought Lampard in just for the fans, to calm the fans down. That was a great move by Roman, by the way. Bring the legend to shut up the fans. It worked. It worked for a while. But Lampard couldn't say he wasn't up for it. And then Tuchel is a different sort of breed.
No. Why did you do that, Anna?
Is that you, Ty? Is that your little sister again? Yeah, and that's what I think. That's what I think about Roman sacking managers.
And can I say something on the point of Roman sacking the managers?
Yeah.
You see, as I said earlier, apart from just saying that Roman's strategy worked in the sense that it gave us some success to some extent. I also mentioned that since Roman also invested a lot in the players, usually he's going to sacrifice the manager for peace sake, let me say it that way, because it is easier to get rid of a manager and pay their compensation than to get rid of a player. So that is one major reason why he would rather choose to sack the manager, even though the manager's sacking is not fair, but he will choose to sack the manager. And if you think about it, the sort of players he brings are already ready-made, high-caliber players. So definitely, if you're a manager and you are being given these players, you're expected to get the best out of them as soon as possible. You see, and that motivates Roman to sack the manager if the manager is not able to produce instant results, because he feels like, I've invested a lot in the players. Why aren't you producing results for the club? So to him, he invests in the team. He invests in the players. Quick results. If you are not performing as you used to, then you are out of the door. Okay. So the reason why for me, I'm not complaining, and as I said earlier, the strategy did work to some extent. But I'm not saying it worked entirely. It worked to some extent. So if it has worked to some extent, we're able to win trophies, then I cannot complain that much. Only that because he's no longer running the club for us, we are now feeling the effects of how he ran the club for us. You understand? So that is me. That's my take on this Roman Abramovich stuff.
Yeah, I think let's bring in DJ because he's been waiting for a while. So let's bring him in, and welcome to the chat. Welcome to the panel.
Yeah, big up to you, Ty. Big up to the panel. How is everyone today? You all good?
Yeah, I'm good and you.
Yeah, DJ, big up to you, DJ, sorry.
Yeah, mate. Listen, I've come at a time, an interesting conversation you guys are having. I for one have never ever, in terms of sacking of managers, I've never been one for liking that. I know people seem to say it works and stuff, and it can obviously it worked for many years because obviously we were making a success out of it, of winning trophies after trophy. But I was one of those fans as well who always wanted to have a stable manager at the football club, and I thought the way I thought after Jose Mourinho, I really thought it was going to be very hard to bring somebody in who can actually replicate what he has basically done. But obviously we did that with Ancelotti, and I thought, okay, we're bringing one of the best again coming in, and I thought, yes, we're going to go again with this guy. You know, he wins. He obviously wins. He wins obviously the league and the Prem, FA Cup. The Prem and the FA Cup. And then what do we go and do? Bruce Buck, after just one season of not winning anything, what does Bruce Buck go and do? He goes and sacks him in the Everton corridor, which I thought was disgusting behaviour to do in the first place, saying it was all done on Roman. I don't think some of the sackings that were being done have all been done by Roman. I think sometimes they've gone by a lot of stuff coming in within the board. If you know what I'm trying to say, because for someone like Buck to go and sack Ancelotti for what he's gone and done, you would think to yourself as Chelsea fans, generally, why would you sack a successful manager? Just because he missed out on the Champions League, it doesn't mean you don't give this guy a chance to go and see if he can actually go and win it. Because we all know Ancelotti, what a top-class manager he was and still is to this day. And I just think a sacking of managers, okay, people will say it worked because we've won so many trophies out of it all. At the same time, I also wanted a manager with stability. And I really hope now this time round, we've got the manager Thomas Tuchel, to do that for us. And I just hope we can stick by this guy because I don't know anybody out there that is really better than him. People talk to me about Zinedine Zidane. Yes, Zinedine Zidane is a top manager, but let's be honest, he's only won he's literally, if you were to go and give him a team like Brighton, do you think he's going to go and win titles with Brighton? No, because he'll only go and win things like that with money. And that's exactly what Real Madrid did. They gave him all that money, all the top players, and he could go and win things with that. I think any of us could probably go and manage Real Madrid and win trophies. Okay? So in that kind of way, I have to say, where's Tuchel learned his trade proper. He learned with Mainz, then he went on to Dortmund, then he obviously went his big job was in PSG. Okay, he won things with those trophies with limited budgets, especially with Mainz and Dortmund. right? Only at PSG he got the pot full of money to go and do what he wanted to do and bring in the players that he wanted. Chelsea, he's now got the opportunity again. And if you think about what he's done this last season, people say this season hasn't been a success. Well, we've still got 2 trophies from this season. It's coming to the end of the season, but we've still got the Super Cup and the World Club Tournament, the World Championship Club Tournament trophy. Yeah, for me, is a success. That was the one trophy I think all you guys would probably agree. I know Nick Blue would do. I mean, on this one we knew that was the one trophy that was missing from our cabinet, and we got it. You know, out of all the trophies that we wanted, we got it. So Thomas Tuchel, I think that's been a successful season. Yes, we could have done better. Yes, we could be challenging the likes of Man City and Liverpool. But let's be honest, we've had a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes of our football club. We've had injuries to key players like Ben Chilwell. He went out at the wrong time of the season. Reece James had that bad injury. Okay. Then we started to see ourselves struggling. Okay. But we were still in there. We were still amongst the top. We were not, the only thing we were not going to do was challenge for the Premiership and the like Man City and Liverpool were. But we were still amongst the top elite. So in that kind of way, I don't think we're that far off. Yes, we're going to probably be losing some good players this season, but we're going to get some replacements in. And I really, really think people going on about saying we're not going to spend the money like we used to do. No, we're not. But what you will see with Todd Bowley coming in is you're going to see a success. You're going to see how a football club should be run in terms of he won't sack managers for the sake of sacking managers. He'll bring the players in that Thomas Tuchel wants, and he'll just say, go manage that team. You tell me the players that you want. I'll try and get my best to go and get them, and you go and manage that team. Okay, and that's what I think we need this season. We need stability at the football club, and I really think under this manager and this regime, we can do it with him. And I think next season, yes, we're going to be probably not next season. We won't be able to challenge next season because obviously if he's going to bring in a load of players that are coming in the summer, so we've been told, he's going to need to build on that team. He's going to need to see how far they can get. And then I'd say probably the following season, we can challenge the likes of Man City and Liverpool. However, we can still go strong in the cup competitions, i.e. the Champions League. Because I think, again, next season, I think you find Thomas Tuchel will look at the squad he buys. He'll probably think, okay, am I ready to challenge? Are these players ready to really challenge the likes of City and Liverpool? New players, new positions, how I want to play, my philosophy way of playing. Will these players come in and start to do it straight away? They probably won't. However, a lot of these players that we're probably going to end up bringing in will have got Champions League experience. So I can see us going strong in the Champions League next season. I don't know what your guys' thoughts on that are.
Yeah, to be honest, I want to come in. Like, I can agree with you. We need to give coaches a project. For example, if you assign a new coach, we give him a 3 years project, and then his first season is all about rebuilding his team, and the next season can start challenging for titles, because that's the issues we are having now. If a manager this first season win two trophies or 3 trophies, it's good. Next season, nothing. He won nothing. We sack him, and then we are stuck with the players that he brought him by himself, and the other manager come in, and then he doesn't like those players. We spend again and on new players. That's the issue I have now. Look at Liverpool and Messi. They did for Klopp and Pep. They give them a project. You're going to build the team that you want, and then we are not in a rush for success. Look now. Everything is popping for them. We need that. We need a coach who can stay to build this club the way he wants, and then I'm telling you, if you're going to give teacher a chance, we're going to be successful. We need to be patient as well as fans. We don't need to be reactional and say like we brought 4 or 5 players. We should be challenging for the league. No, look at Klopp. His first 2 seasons, he chipped out the players that he didn't need. He added Mane, Salah, Van Dijk, Matip, you name them one by one until they get a successful team. So if Chelsea can be managed or run that way, we're going to be successful. That's my opinion.
Sorry, and can I just say one more thing before someone jumps in? Sorry, just one more thing I wanted to say. Also, if you think about it, guys, yeah, Pep Guardiola turned Chelsea down I think it was 4 or 5 seasons ago, when we were looking to go in for him. It might have been longer than that. And the only reason why he turned Chelsea down when we went in for him is he would have come to Chelsea. But the only reason why he turned us down because he goes, I know if I don't win anything in a year or two, they're going to sack me. I don't want to be part of a club that's going to do that to me. As much as it's been a successful club, it's successful in terms of short term, I want to be in a club that's going to let me build on a project like Man City have done. If you think about it, he was brought into Manchester City to win the Champions League, right? He's not won that yet. But have you gone to see Manchester City sack him? No. And the reason why they're not sacking him because they know he's one of the best managers around that can actually eventually go and do that. And this is why I say we're different to Manchester City in that way. As much as people want to complain about Manchester City and their barrels of money, the one thing I give them credit for, where credit is due, is they wanted when they went in for Pep Guardiola, they knew he was going to be the main guy to come in, and he was going to be the main guy to build us, to win us everything. And we're going to be patient with this guy until he decides he's had enough and he wants to go. Yeah, and that's the one thing we don't do at Chelsea. You don't see us giving that to our managers. And this is where I feel we do slightly falter to other football clubs like that, because like Tobago even said, Klopp, another example of that. Look how long it took him to win something. But did you see Liverpool getting on edge, the Liverpool board getting on board saying, oh, we're going to get rid of him? No, they knew what a top-class manager he is. And then he is actually going to come in and he'll do something. He'll win something with us. And that's exactly what they've done. Look what he's gone and done. He's won the Prem. He's won the Champions League. He's now done the FA Cup this year. He's done the League Cup. God knows they could go and win the quad this year. And that's because this is all down to Liverpool. And I give them credit again where credit is. I don't like to do that mainly to rival clubs. But the one thing you'll give them credit for is they give their managers time to build something. And this is what we need to do. This hiring and firing of managers has got to stop. We've got the manager in Thomas Tuchel to take us there. We just need to believe in this guy and let him do it. If we get a bad win or whatever, we have a bad day at the office, I don't want fans on social media coming out of Thomas Tuchel saying he should be sacked. Because that's all we ever do. That's all some of our Chelsea fan base does. Oh, we must sack him. Bring someone else in tomorrow. Or if our players are having a bad game, oh, let's get rid of Mason. Let's get rid of him. Let's get rid of Mount. Let's get rid of Havertz. Let's get rid of Werner. Let's get rid of these players because they're not good enough. It's not that. You can have days where you might not be great, but you've got to stick with your players. And that's exactly what Liverpool manager Klopp does and Pep does. They stick with their players until the end, until the summer comes and they feel, okay, you've done whatever you can for me, we'll sell you off, or you need to go. But they're not going to, you're not going to see the fans getting on their backs. And this is why I feel we need to stop as a fan base to stop doing that, because I think a lot of the times we do give Thomas, I've noticed, it was nice. The one thing I liked about yesterday, I didn't get a chance to go and watch the match yesterday because I worked late. But my dad and my brother went to Stamford Bridge yesterday. And what I liked about yesterday was that, I don't know if you guys saw the pictures, but they had a lovely flag. They had a flag of Thomas Tuchel. The fans actually had a flag of him, to show him. And he didn't realise that until someone pointed it out to him. And he goes, I've never, ever had that kind of thing of me. Because people used to have Mason Mount. They always have other players. But no one had the manager. And I think he was quite touched about that yesterday. And he goes, now it's up to me now to go, for me to go and show this club what I can do. Or something. He said something in his comments afterwards. So, look, as I said, we just need to be patient. And I do believe if we stay patient, we will win everything under this manager. Because he's already taken us to six finals. We've already won a Champions League under him, a Super Cup, a World Club Cup under him. He's taken us to a FA Cup, and he's taken us to a League Cup final. I don't think Klopp and Pep done that in their first lot of seasons when they first came to their club. So maybe someone can check that for me. But we have got the manager. We just need to be patient.
I think you're absolutely right. The reason why the Chelsea fan base behaved like that is because we are spoiled children. If you understand, we've achieved a lot of success, and it has made us drunk with those successes. Like Liverpool and Man City, how should I say it? Liverpool, for a long while, did not have that sort of success that they had earlier back in the days. Man City were no team. They were nobody. So for that one, I agree. And that is why Chelsea don't understand what it means to be patient, to be able to go through the pains and everything. But look, I agree 100% when it comes to the stability thing you were talking about. After Antonio Conte won the Premier League for us, what has been our highest position we've ever had in the Premier League? I think third or so. Is that also? Third.
Sorry, Fairboy. What was that? Sorry, bro. What were you saying? Sorry.
I'm asking that after Antonio Conte won the league for us in 2017, what was our highest league position since then?
Since then, it's either been, I think under Sarri. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think we got fourth, didn't we? Fourth and now third. Seems to be our position.
No, I think it's third. It's third.
Third is now this season, I think, under Tuchel.
No, and Atari is third. Yeah, we finished third. I think someone else finished behind us in fourth. So that's our highest position.
Yeah.
And ever since then, we've been stagnating. Tuchel last season helped us finish fourth. We hope that our team would improve and perhaps we'll be able to get closer to the best teams in the land currently, Liverpool and Man City, which unfortunately our expectations were not met. Why? Because of the constant changing of the players. So all the time tactics always changes. And yes, it actually affects the team. But there's something that I would also want to point out. You made mention of the fact that this season we're not able to close the gaps. We had unfortunate injuries and because of the issues surrounding the club. Look, I think most of the problems we've had when it comes to on the footballing side of things is the fact that we are unable to beat the teams we are supposed to beat. That's me, because when we meet the bigger teams, we compete. When we meet Liverpool, we compete very well against them. At least against Liverpool, we compete very well. But when we are supposed to beat the teams that are, I think, lower than us, mid-table teams, and teams that are struggling for relegation, then we drop points against them. So majority of the games that we've lost this season or drawn this season is due to these points that we drop against these lower table teams. And I think if we ever want to get close to Man City and Liverpool, that is the area we would want to solve next season. Because we've shown that with the games we've played against them, we are competitive. But when we play against the mid-table downwards, we don't do that well. We don't turn up. So I think that can be solved. If that is solved, then I think we'll be edging closer to Man City. And also, of course, we talk about buying a player in the image of the manager, right? But I think that just the manager making those decisions is not going to help the team. Like, if you look at the grand scheme of things, because when Antonio Conte came, he spoke about players he wants, and the club gave the players to him, like Marcos Alonso. He wanted Marcos Alonso, they gave him Marcos Alonso, and now we are stuck with Marcos Alonso. Then a new manager comes, he goes for Jorginho, the player he knows and trusts. Then after he's sacked, the player is still with us. So we have different managers and different players who suit different tactics, and that affects our club. So I think that the point that you make, DJ, about the long-term stability of a manager, as well as the club also recruiting a team that also understands the manager's style of play and could recommend or certain players that will fit his philosophy, will be important if the club is to be progressing and meeting the standards of the likes of Liverpool and Man City. So that's what for me I think about this whole situation. So when it comes to the stability aspect, 100% spot on. I agree perfectly. And for us to win the Premier League once again, we need that stability. And look, it's a long time since we won the Premier League, so I hope things change. Things are okay so that we could do so.
Yeah. Okay. So this, as you see in the banner, the next discussion will be the final discussion, and it will be the discussion on attacking replacement options if some attackers leave, because obviously there's a lot of players who would like more game time, namely Pulisic, Hakim Ziyech, and this is just speaking hypothetically. Some players want to leave, some players cannot leave because of the contract they're on, and I mean it would be difficult, and the club would have to take a loss. So I want to start off with Nick, if he's still here, and what attacking replacement options, not only the names, but what those players can actually offer if they come in. So Nick, I want to hear what you have to say about attacking options, and it could be strikers, it could be wingers, but what do you think about this?
What about players coming in?
No. If certain players leave, for example, like you have Pulisic. If Pulisic leaves, if Ziyech leaves, if Werner leaves, players like that, the replacements and what their profile is, what can they offer if they come in?
Well, first of all, I'll start with Lukaku, because you all know who I want to replace Lukaku, and that's Lewandowski.
Yep.
And let's see if Lukaku goes. We don't know what's going to happen yet. But Werner, I can see going. I think he'd be one of the first to leave us from the attack. And Ziyech as well could be going. Pulisic, I think he's staying. Mount be staying, of course. And so who do we get to for Werner? It's a good question. I would like to see. He's not a Dybala coming in. I know he's not a winger, but he's a good player. And for Ziyech, I like to see. I wanted to see Mahrez, try and get Mahrez to come, but because I don't know if he's going to stay at City next year. That'd be a good signing.
Is that all you have to say?
And I can't think of anyone right now. I nearly fell asleep actually before. I was dropping off. My phone drops out of my hand, and I was dropping off. And then I woke up a bit.
Okay. So how about Nkunku? What do you have to say, Thibaut? Because I know that you're a lover of Nkunku, and you'd be interested in him coming in. So what do you have to say, Thibaut?
You know I love Nkunku. If you can check his stats, this current season, saving goals and assists, 40 plus. If you can check them. So if we'll be able to sell Timo Werner, I want a player just like Nkunku, because like he can finish, he can assist. It's not selfish. It's not selfish player, because like what I'm seeing on our attacking players this season, I'm not saying they're bad players, they're good players, but sometimes they're selfish, and then we end up losing games because the other players are selfish and stuff. And also, if you can get Richarlison on if Leeds getting relegated, we can fight for Richarlison, and then not Richarlison. I mean,
Rafinha.
What is that? Rafinha. Yes, sorry, Rafinha for a bargain, because like apparently if Leeds are going to be relegated, they'll sell him for 30 or 35, and we have a good relationship with his agent, Deco. He was our former player. So if you can build a relationship with Deco and tell him that, man, you've been playing for us so long, just sell us Rafinha, will be good. But anyway, I'm not worried about the attack, to be honest. I'm just worried about how are we going to rebuild going forward, just like the defense and the midfield and stuff. But anyway, it is what it is, guys. So I'll give the other guys a chance. But I would love to have Nkunku.
Okay. So so that's Thibodeau.
I haven't seen them play much. Yeah.
He scored a hat trick against Man City. So I mean that really is attractive to see.
Oh yeah.
If he's scoring a hat trick against Man City, then I think that's the case, because not many people really watch the Bundesliga to really see what he does.
Yeah,
but I mean, but he's a good player, and recently he's been winning Player of the Month every month. So that just gives me Hazard vibes. I'm not saying he's a Hazard, but I mean, it just gives me the Hazard vibes. Winning Player of the Month, month after month. It's just entertaining.
And he won Player of the Season. Player of the Season.
So that's another thing. So I mean that is attractive. So DJ, I know in the past, behind the scenes, backstage, we've always spoken about the attack. So what is your input on this?
Okay, right. Okay, for me, look, like Nick said, it depends. With Lukaku's situation now, I was one of those who said, maybe Lukaku might get another chance next season. However, it depends on the situation. Now, the talks of Lewandowski really is one I would love to see happen, if it can happen. I think we can bring this guy in, and then you have Broja, who can come in as well and learn from him. I mean, I think we could be sorted for life with Broja if he learns from him. Lukaku, I think if he stays for another season, so be it. Then obviously you have to back him, and hope he does well. But if we were to replace him, then I'd say obviously Lewandowski to come in for him. Timo Werner, as you know, he's one of my, obviously I always take up for him, but I know this couple of seasons he's been pretty bad, and if we were to sell him and let him go, like Tobago was saying, I think Nkunku is another one I do like as well. I think he's a terrific player. I think he can come in and do a job that Werner's not doing, and that is he'll score goals, and he can not only play in attack, he can also play in some various positions in that front, either in that midfield or in that front three. So I think he could come in, and the two on the right I'd go for. I've actually got two options for the right if we should sell Ziyech. If that was to be the case, the two I'd go for again would be Rafinha, as has already been mentioned, and the other one I put a punt on is Ousmane Dembele from Barcelona on a free transfer. I think he could really come in now that he's starting to show his peak again, not showing much injury. That guy just seems to be, every time I do see him but when I was watching Barcelona play, this guy just seems to be improving every time he starts the game or he's playing a game. So I would love him to come to Chelsea, and Thomas Tuchel's worked with him as well before, which helps the situation as well. So he'll know exactly to make him a better player. So they're the ones I'd look at. I know we can't talk about midfielders, but they're the three on the attack that I would actually I'll think about. And Dybala as well as the other one, because he's a free as well.
I mean, something you said, I want to quickly say this before I go to Quasi. Quickly, I have to do this really quick. But you mentioned Rafinha, and I think, who was it? I think it was Thibaut who was also saying it. But for me, I think Rafinha and Ziyech are quite similar based on their role. They're both touchline type of winners, and I mean, I'm just hoping that, because I think people can know that Ziyech really doesn't play to his full strength when he's playing in a three, in like a back three situation, a back five formation. So I think in a case we're seeing him struggle like that. But when you see, like in the past, we switched to a back four, we're able to see him be more freely. He has more space to go wide, and I mean he does try that. And I mean, I don't know how many people saw this, but against Leicester City, we were playing more of like a four at the back, really. And then you had him being able to go wide, him working with James, and him making those crosses in. So I think if Rafinha can come in, and if that is possible, obviously Barcelona want him, And I mean, people talking about Dybala as well. There has been reports that he's on the verge of signing for Inter. So that is something that I really don't know about. But I mean, it's good. So Quasi, what do you have to say? I saved the best for last, actually. So I mean, what do you have to say about this? This will be your the final take from somebody, and then I have to be out of here and I'll end the stream. So what do you have to say, Quasi?
Do you know, before we came here, I saw a certain comment. The person asked if we can go for Rashford. If we can go for Rashford. I said, wow, what a comment. Who likes Rashford? But on a more serious note, you see, I've noticed something about this Chelsea attack. This Chelsea attack is imbalanced. Honestly, it's imbalanced. And what do I mean by it's imbalanced? A lot of the players that we have, a lot of these attackers we have, like to have the ball at their feet. We have Ziyech, we have Pulisic, we have Mount. And who else is there? I don't know if Lukaku is like that. I think Lukaku. These players like the ball at their feet. So that is why we struggle to create chances. The only players who are good at attacking spaces really, really well are Kai and Timo Werner. And I said that these players are not that prolific. So that's the problem. So for me, if I'm going to get players from the transfer markets, I'm going to look for players who can aggressively attack spaces. So I'll look at the likes of, I've heard with this, Gabriel Jesus is available. And Arsenal wants him. But if you could hijack Gabriel Jesus, it's a good buy. For me, it's a good buy. There's one player who plays for Stade Rennes, Kamaldeen. Who is familiar with that player, Kamaldeen?
Yeah, I've seen him. I've seen him in the French league. Yeah, he's a quality player. He's a quality player.
Very good player. So someone like this, we can go for him, right? And some few others. Okay, so for me, these are my signings, and those who I think Ziyech should stay. For Ziyech, he should stay. I don't know if Rafinha. I think Rafinha will be a good addition to compete with Ziyech. I think. So, if I have Jesus, if I have Ziyech, if I have Kamaldeen, Suleiman, if I have who else? Yes, Rafinha, or even Dembele. Dembele is a bigger upgrade on Rafinha. Then it's cool. There's a sort of attack I want. If Lukaku, we get a Lewandowski, it's cool. I like it. He will be a better mentor to what do you call it, Broya, than Lukaku. Lukaku, who is struggling to control a common football, a common round object on his feet. Mentoring Broja, what is he going to teach Broja? You understand? So if you can get someone like a Lewandowski, maybe a swap deal, we give Bayern Munich Lukaku, we take Lewandowski. I'm up for it. So there's a sort of attack I want to see. So that's me.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I don't know really about selling Lukaku after one season, but I mean that is the most popular opinion right now. So I think it is the best thing to do, I guess, if that's the situation. But for me, personally, I would keep who's this? I think somebody's trying to join. No one? Is someone trying to join? Or I heard like the sound like when somebody's trying to join. Anyways, okay, so thanks to everybody who took the time. This is gonna be the end of the stream. Tragic, you came in very late. Obviously, it's getting pretty late for some people. It's close to midnight, so I mean, I think it's best for me to end it here. Considering, and I think Tibogo has fallen out of the chat, or has he?
Here.
I thought somebody fell out. I don't know who it is.
No, my network just went out, so I just came in.
Oh, okay. All right. So, anyways, I'm trying to remember everybody's name who was on the panel but left. Jake, thanks to JP for being here. They added some great takes into it. Obviously, I didn't see all of it, but I was watching and I was listening, and it was hilarious to hear what you guys were saying. Thanks to Tibogo for running most of the stream. Much appreciated to him. Thanks for Nathan Blue as well. Quasi, DJ Sam, who came on a bit later on. No worries, man. No worries, Tragic. Public side. Thanks to Cho's perspective. Obviously, Just Fiona was here. TCFC. There's a lot of people. John Jameson. Yeah, I don't wanna forget anybody's name. So thanks everybody who will be watching this after it's done rendering, after it's out, and much appreciated to you. Road to 200 subscribers. Check out everybody who's on the panel right now. Socials. There'll be in the link. The links will be in the description. I don't know what I'm talking about now. And yeah, you can always check those out. They'll be in the description. And obviously those who were on the panel and they had to leave. So thanks to you guys. But before I end the stream, I need to give this guy a little cameo on the channel. He couldn't make it, unfortunately, so I'm gonna give him a little cameo. So 2 seconds. Let's hear what this person has to say.
Subscribe to Tytalkz CFC.
Okay, so that's it. Thanks for watching. Peace. See you next time. Thanks again to everybody
Peace,
on.
guys.
Does anybody have anything else to say before I end the stream?
No, bro. Just to say thanks for letting me come into your stream as always, Ty. Sorry I was late coming on, bro. I had things
no
I was
worries.
doing. But
Yeah.
thanks for having us, and big up to everyone in the comments as well, and everyone on the panel as well. Nice chatting to you all as always.
Anybody else?
I think that
So that's a no then.
yeah.
I'll say a thing then. Yeah, if no one's talking, I like finishing the streams. Yeah, great stream today, I think. Great show.
It's all because of you guys. It's all because of you guys, actually.
Not only that, great. We have some great panelists here. DJ South, one of the best. We have.
Cheers, bro. So cheers.
Kwasi, my friend. Very intelligent man. Very great comments he makes. One and only Tobago. Always very, very polite and generous. And it's always great. I'm always happy to be with these people, to talk. And with you, Ty, for your age, you're doing great. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. Really.
I up that one up. I
Yeah.
agree totally with Nick Blue on that one as well. For what you're doing, buff, in the community, mate. You're doing really, really, really well, mate. And I hope you get more and more subscribers to your channel because you deserve it, bro. You've got a lot of people that watch your streams, whether you think it or not. And you've got some people in the comment section that I know pretty well as well, like Chelsea Perspective. Everyone knows who he is. Big up to him. I saw what's the name? I saw the other. What's the girl's name? There's another one. Is it just Viola?
Yeah,
Just Viola. I just saw her in the streams. Obviously, Tragic has also come on there as well. You got people that know you pretty well, man. And big up to every single one in the comments. And may you long continue, Ty. And always, Nick, it's a pleasure chatting to you as well, bro.
Thanks, DJ. Yeah, I'm always happy when you're on the streams with me, always.
Cheers, bro. Cheers.
Yeah.
And Tobago and Fairboy as well. Big up to them as well. Sorry.
Yeah.
Thank you, man.
Yeah. I mean, let's hurry up and get out of here because I think we're gonna be expressing our gratitude until the sun comes up, man. So yeah, that's good. Yeah. So peace, you guys.
Peace.
Time for the outro.
Peace.
Time for the outro.
Peace. All right.